Hey, good afternoon, Marty. How are you doing?
Hey, Joe. Good to be back. Thanks for allowing me to be part of the podcast. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I heard that you've been whirlwinds of travels here lately, huh?
On the road, baby. On the road, making it happen, you know?
Yeah,
So,
so was I. So it's glad to have you. Thanks for being able to join me. Appreciate it. So today we're going to be discussing the business and technology behind Lackawanna College's Robotics and Integrated Technologies program. The program was launched about a year and a half ago, and today we're going to get an update to see where the program is and how it's progressing. And we're joined by Rob Crane, which is the program director there at Lackawanna College for the Robotics and Integration program. And so Rob joined Lackawanna back in 2021, following her career in robotics integration, service, sales, and business development. So also a U.S. Army veteran in the 82nd Airborne Division. He holds an
No, you
associate's
remember that.
degree in electrical engineering technology from Williamsport Area Community College. A little bit about Lackawanna College. It is a private accredited college serving the people in northeastern Pennsylvania. Their main campus is located in downtown Scranton, and they have satellite centers throughout northeastern PA as well. Their curriculum provides students with a direct path to a bachelor's degree, associate's degree, or one of many other professional certifications. But today we're going to be focused on the robotics and automation program. To learn more about Lackawanna College, you can visit their website at www.lackawanna.edu. So hey Rob, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Joe. I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Yeah, so as
Yeah.
I mentioned today, Rob, we're going to talk a little bit about this robotics program here that you have at Lackawanna College. How it's been. It's been what, a year and a half now since you started the program?
Well, I guess if you count my time, I guess I started a couple years before I actually started teaching. So I've been teaching about a year and a half now.
Yeah, yeah. How many would that be, like 3 semesters or so now?
This is semester number 3. That's correct. Yeah. Yep.
Great. So before we jump into that, Rob, I don't know how deep we got into the last. We did have a podcast with you, if you remember back about a year or
Hmm.
so ago. Introducing the program, and we had the president here of the institute, Jill, was with us. So,
Hmm.
but let's just talk a little bit about yourself, if you could, refresh the listeners about who you are, and then how you've come to be the instructor here at Lackawanna College.
I guess a little bit about myself. If we go way back, I've always been, I guess, post service anyway, always been involved in some sort of, or interested in some sort of engineering side of things. And then probably about 25 years ago, maybe 26 years ago, I started to get involved in robotics. And then as you know, Joe, I went to a robotics company for about 20 years, on and off a few times. But yeah, so I traveled the world for a little bit. Um, I don't know how many years, probably 10, 12 years, and then um, moved to the Midwest and did some sales in the robotics side, but continued to keep my hands in the engineering side, or the, if you will, the robotic side. Um, and then back to ABB for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, and then got approached with this opportunity here at the college, which is a great opportunity, actually.
Yeah. So I think it's good to know to take a step back, and when you talk about things, your experiences, and you spent that time at ABB, and when you first joined ABB, you joined as a field service technician, correct? And that's when you did a
Yeah,
lot of your traveling,
I did. Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and,
Yes.
and again, I think that's really important because as you're defining the program there at the institute, right? You take some of that knowledge and those experiences that you had in that memory bank or that library of knowledge, so to speak, to kind of develop out, troubleshooting, maintenance programs, even programming techniques, and I think that's like really important.
Well, I think it's important, it's not just on the robot side, but when we start talking about automation and technology that's out there. Um, uh, as you know, I still do a little bit of some stuff outside of the college as well, to kind of keep my hands, if you will, in whatever technology is out there. Anything I can bring to the college or bring to the students here at the college to keep our program up to up to speed with what I think probably some of the some of the top-notch colleges in the country are doing. So I absolutely try to do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so all those great experiences from the past to develop that program out. So, talking about the program, what are the goals and objectives of this robotics and automation program there at Lackawanna?
Well, I think our main, I guess our main goal or main objective here is, and I can actually sum that up in like a sentence, and that's is, we want to put out the best, most knowledgeable technician, programmer, well-rounded individual as we can that's ready to go to work from day one. Not have to go in and like, oh yeah, I got a little bit of this, and I think I saw that before. But and to do that, I think our hands-on approach, or at least what I'm trying to do, is get that hands-on approach where, I can read that stuff all day long to them. You can study out of a book,
Hmm.
but this hands-on approach is it's working. I've seen some growth in all of the students I have, even my first year students I have right now. Um, are and maybe a little bit of that is the quality. I don't use the word quality, but the level of the student I have right now is uh, I might not have that many, but they're quality guys.
Yeah, Rob. So describe that hands-on. So what are you literally doing? Like, walk me through a class or an experience for the students that you have. You don't have to get into detail. Just give me
Sure,
an overview of it, okay?
sure. I, I I try to run my classes concurrent with labs. We don't. You're not going to come in here for an hour and a half, 2 hours of theory and listen to me ramble on about whatever. Um, um, so I might ramble for 10 minutes and give you 5 minutes of self study, and then we're back in the lab. And when I say that, we're back in there proving out whatever it is, literally, we just talked about,
Hmm.
whether it be, basic AC, the flow of electricity, whether it be programming 101, setting up a tool center point for a robot. We're literally doing that and building on that from the ground up. We'll learn about early on, a little bit about what the robot does, what its capabilities are, and then we get right into actually putting your hands on it and moving it around. And then to build on that, we bring in, if you will, Robot Studio, which is it doesn't matter if I'm talking about ABB robots or a FANUC robot, RoboGuide, but we try to incorporate all of that from day one, not just do 3 hours of theory and okay, now our labs do. We're going to do 3 hours of lab on Wednesday, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah,
breaking that up and getting right straight from theory to the hands-on portion is, I think, is, and I can see it in their grades from year one to year two. I can see it.
yeah. You
I,
can,
I really can.
yeah, you
Uh,
can see it develop. So you have a curriculum that starts out foundational, and then you move it to the next level, and you move it to the next level. Am I accurate there?
yeah, absolutely. We just try to build from the bottom up and just try to,
Yeah,
um, again,
excellent.
it's like building a robot program. They're starting with just a couple little routines, and at the end of the semester, they've got not just a program but a functioning program that we're not. I don't have a factory to build here, but I build my factory on my cart. So if that includes conveyors, that includes variable frequency drives, it includes PLCs, all of that stuff, pulling all of it together, and not just programming it, but can you fix it? Can you tell me what's wrong with it?
Cool.
So yeah,
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so you do a little bit of that. You put some bugs in there and if you do some maintenance or troubleshooting, so they
I
have to find the quote unquote bug to say
I
what's going on
I
here with it.
I,
Loosen a
I do.
wire here or there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've actually partnered with on the electrical side. Some of my equipment has fault guides built right into it. So I actually, when I purchased the equipment that I'm using, both on the PLC side and on my motor control side, which is pretty extensive.
Yeah.
And it looks like a small factory. It really
Mm.
does. I think, Joe, I think I sent you some pictures.
Yeah.
So it does. And then together with the curriculum that I'm using, and I'm also bringing in some more theory outside of what that curriculum that I purchased is. So each kid actually has a license on the site that I have, and the broad base of what I can teach inside, I have their complete library. So every one of my students, if I have a student who might struggle a little bit on the math side, when we're actually breaking down circuits, and I'm asking them to, what's a parallel in a series circuit, and how do you break it down, and if they're struggling with the formulas for that, I got a little math program I can shoot at them inside of the built into the program. They can do on their own, and
Excellent.
to try to, you know, keep up with where we're at, because I try not to slow down for any of them. So.
Excellent.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean
Joe.
you pulled in the right tools, right? You mentioned Robot Studio, right? So that's that
Mhm.
virtual simulation offline programming that allows the students to work from their PC, laptop, whatever that may be, right? And then take that program that you're teaching them to build or some function, right? And then take it right out to the real robot, and it transfers from the desktop to the robot, right?
Yep.
And they've got to love that. I mean, having being that today's young individuals, right, as they're learning the virtual world for them, gaming, whatever it may be, it's just got to be so natural for them, somewhat natural for them to go from that PC world to then take it to the real world, and they just got to light up, I bet, when they can see it work on a real robot.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Rob, this again may be a stupid question, but I thought I'd ask it anyway for clarity's sake. So when they come join this program, is it their goal, or do they say this goal that they want to work for a robotic company or an integrator, or is that their career, or are they? I'm assuming it is, but you know what I'm asking you? Are they coming in saying, "Well, I want to learn this because I might find it useful," or are they coming and say, "You know what? I know. I think I can find a career here."
Well, I don't think they come in with the career in mind of going to like an integrator, but I think they come in with the mindset of wanting to work um, in the robotics field, and that
Got it.
includes automation, everything that enhances a robot, if you will. Um,
Yeah.
with what we have going on here, and just in this little area right here, um, is Joe can attest to that. Is it's just it's booming, and there's literally no little or no support on the new workforce.
Hmm.
There's literally none in this area. None.
Right. So if you
No.
think about the area and maybe even like upskilling the workforce, are you seeing are there any older individuals that have been in the workforce looking to get advanced education in robotics and automation to maybe re-enter the workforce with this in mind?
Yeah. Two of my students right now are full-time employees at
Oh, wow.
various places in the area.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and and neither one of them is in. Well, one is semi in the maintenance area, but or in the electrical, but um, the other ones are not. I got a veteran, but he was in the wind industry prior to. He left the wind industry to come to the program. Um, I have another individual that moved from Oregon to come here.
Wow.
Another individual moved from the kid that was in the wind industry, was in Washington, state of
Wow.
Washington, and came here. So yeah, there, it's been a slow process. I'm not gonna, Joe. I think you and I have had that discussion about, trying to get out to, who are we trying to reach? And to be honest with you, it's a struggle, to get um, local, um, not just high schools, but local interest. I just don't think we, maybe we as a college don't do a great job either of getting out there. We try to, but I don't think we do. This is their first delving into technology.
Yeah.
they've been a liberal arts school
Yeah.
for hundreds of years, and now then they broke out into some health sciences there a while back. So the college is doing a great job of that. This is their first kind of putting their foot in the pool of technology.
Yeah. Well, you're
So
you're you're crawling now. That's understandable. How
yeah,
did the I guess they're guys we're talking about. How did they find you? Those people from out of this area. Were they
I
searching? Did they run into lock? How did they hear about you?
the one from Washington, the wind industry, um, happened to be from here,
Ah.
and I guess that's how he found out about the
Ah.
program. And he
Yeah.
was looking to make a change in his life, so he joined the program. And
Excellent.
again, to be honest with you, I've got the students I have right now are, um, I would be proud of any one of them to go to their internships are coming up in the summer, and I would be any local facility they would be an asset to. Let me just tell you that, all of them.
Interesting.
So I actually have another student he's a full time student at the University of Scranton, and he's a full time student in my program
Oh,
at the
really?
same time. Yes, and he's doubling up on
That's
whatever
smart.
information he can get. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
really smart. Good for him.
Yeah, because I mean, the ROI on your particular program there has to be pretty significant. 'Cause, I mean, if you could leave and be like an E&I tech or a robot programmer, do some robot maintenance, or even join a company like PSA, right? We're in the need of those individuals for programmers, E&I techs, assembly guys. To get involved into the robotics and automation career sector, it's a great career path. So and
It
you're
is.
very affordable, right? Your education is very affordable, so the ROI is there for sure.
It absolutely is, Joe. That's a very good point. And I don't think I think that's a little bit of some of our struggle. I think has been because our school is so affordable, and I don't think there's a lot of local probably mindset of, okay, well, Lackawanna is a school where you don't expect to go to get a robot degree, even an associate's degree in robotics. You don't associate Lackawanna with that.
Hmm.
So trying to get that whole over that hump is has been a it's been a little eye opening.
Yeah. Well, you're going to continue as you already are. You're going to continue to um, hang on to, log on to, be supported by the liberal education and everything else that you're doing, being recognized literally nationally as a great place to work, to be. That's going to help and happen in your space too, because you're connected to something that's just absolutely great. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
again, it's just getting the message out.
yeah. My next goal is to um, get my accreditation through ARM. Joe, I
Ah,
know you. Yeah. So
there
ARM,
you
I've
go.
stayed close. I've stayed close with ARM, not as close as I'd like to be because I just don't have the time. I'm still a one man show
Yeah,
um, here at the college, uh, but my next goal is to get the program accredited through ARM, and that
Joe,
will that will
that
really put
that'll
us
help.
on the
Yeah,
map.
it'll help. I was just out at their member meeting this week, as a matter of fact, for the ARM, and it's a big part of the ARM Institute having the right education institutes aligned with their goals and their roboticscareer.org platform, right? And
Yep.
so individuals can search on there and look for not only just a career, but also where do they go to get an education to assist in that career
Yep.
path. So getting to that level, I think would be really critical for you guys to do that. Rob, but in the end of the day, it's been a year and a half, like 3 semesters or
Yeah.
so. It's going to take some time. Like Marty said, you're crawling right now. but I would still think that it has to have grown slightly, right? What the things that you're able to do and have done at that school. So talk a little bit about how you've come from day one to now here we are a year and a half. How has it grown? And what are some of the other services that you're able to provide out of that school?
Well, some of the growth is actual. We have grown. I picked up another lab. Um, I I was well on that note of growing with the workforce as well. The workforce um, stuff that I do. I'm one of the 6 sites in the U.S. that also holds ABB robotics classes for corporate customers, as well as just recently I have become involved in SACA. So now I am a SACA certification site.
You know,
Um,
what's SACA? What's that?
SACA
Yeah.
is the automation accreditation. You've got NC3, um, uh, which is SACA the is it depends on who you talk to. If you're talking from somebody from NC3, they would probably say, "Oh, that's what you want. You want those certifications."
Okay.
SACA has not been around that long. Probably been around about 6 years, um, but it has gone worldwide, and it is now. Um, well, I'd have to pull up the. I always forget what SACA means. It's
Well,
it's
while you're looking, those
it.
kinds of things you're talking about, though, is further accreditation, credibility is the word I'm looking
Well,
for you, right?
yes, correct. And what it's actually done, um, I have actually became a SACA certification site.
Beautiful.
Okay,
So at the college, if somebody's looking to be certified
so
in that, you
SACA
have the
is
ability to certify
yes,
them.
yes. SACA is Smart Automation Certification Alliance, Industry 4.0.
Mm, okay.
So, um, what that does, what I first started out to do is not just give somebody a piece of paper from the Lackawanna College that says they have an associate degree in robotics and integrated technologies, which is our program. If they were to go to California, first of all, somebody would be like, "Well, what is Lackawanna College? Is that some online program? Is that But with the weight of the SACA certifications that I can give inside of the program,
Yeah.
which would be on just basic electrical, motor controls, variable frequency drives, PLCs. And then just last week, I had an individual in from SACA who coincidentally certified me in robotics because I had been seeking the certification through SACA. So my students are not only getting it like if it's programming one, they're going to get an ABB certificate from ABB that says they went through the ABB programming one class. They're
Hmm.
going to get a certificate from ABB in electrical maintenance. They're going to get a certificate in programming two. They're going to get a certificate in Robot Studio. They're also going to get a certificate from SACA, which it carries as much, if not more, weight than what the ABB certificate is. ABB would be more specific to ABB. The SACA certificate is going to it's dual level too. It's not just okay, now I can pass a test. No, it's hands on. You have to go somewhere, and it's an extensive test which says you're not just certified as like a silver level, but actually gold. I mean, there's only a handful of sites you can go to get that certification. I am now one of those
Well, that's
in the
excellent.
U.S.
Fantastic.
There's one in Georgia, and there's one out in somewhere in I think in Texas or New Mexico.
Right.
Okay.
So that definitely is like a differentiator, sets you a kind of apart from
Absolutely.
other institutes
It
for
it
the
correct.
this
Yeah.
automation robotics. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And again that library, if you will, of availability of what is out there. Actually, our petroleum and natural gas also uses that curriculum and that those the equipment, which would be from Amatrol. but then the certification process is still through SACA. I have students that come through that don't get certificates because it's not easy. You can come through here, but then you have to take the initiative on your own. Okay, yes, I want to have that certificate. I want to travel with that.
Is that
So,
almost like an elective, Rob?
well,
You
it's
have to
not an
elect to
elective.
take that?
Well, yes, like it's an elective in that you say yes. I want to go the extra step. Right? I'm giving you everything you need to do it, and we give them that here. Here it is. Here's everything you need. We teach it, instruct it. We prove it out in labs. The same thing they're going to do there is that test at the next level.
Yeah, Rob, you seem a little frustrated with your growth, but I want to tell you that you've accomplished a ton, and
Yeah.
revel in your success of what you've already done. So because you are here and it is growing.
Yeah,
You've got
it
the
is.
lab, you got all kinds of good stuff going on. One of the questions I like to ask people, and I hope it's okay with Joe,
Yeah, go
he
ahead.
allows me to talk every now and then. So based on the successes you had, I always like the question. Well, now it's 5 years from now. You know where I'm going with this already. It's
Mhm.
5 years from now. What's the vision kind of thing? Because it's exciting what you're doing, and it's needed, and we just got to get the message out. But it's 5 years now. What will it look like?
Well, I think 5 years from now, what I would like to have it be would be not just a one person show, but
Sure.
um, a couple of even adjuncts, but maybe a couple full time instructors as well, and branch out even more into the not just our degree program, but out into the workforce. We have a lot to offer. We do. I'm getting out there now. I've got some local customers that are interested in what we're doing, um, and coincidentally, I had some four guys up from South Carolina that took my programming ABB through ABB. They took my programming one class, and then I had an individual reach out to me from their facility, which they have a facility which I didn't put these together until they called me, and they're like, "Hey, we're really interested in your what you have going on there," and it was a company called Nucor, which is right down in Hazleton, a large in the steel industry. So I had four of their individuals from South Carolina come up, take my programming class, didn't put anything together. I had somebody 2 weeks later call me from Nucor, from their company, and like, hey, what can we do to. And I was like, well, I just had four of your guys from South Carolina. And they're like, what? They had no idea we even existed until that happened. And now they're interested in everything we have
Yeah.
to offer.
Well, I'm
So
going to congratulate you now on your 5 years, the national recognition that you will have achieved in 5 years. So I'm going to congratulate you right now
yeah,
on that
we hope.
success.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope
And
so.
and we'll come back
I,
5 years from now and revisit again
No,
and
that's
revel
if
in the
he'll
achievements.
give us the time, because then he's going to probably be
yeah,
on a national speaking tour. He's going to be
I'll
doing
see.
all kinds of crazy things.
Right,
So,
right,
all
right.
right, back to you, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, so Rob, there's some local events that are coming up
Mhm.
that I don't know if you're going to be having a tabletop at maybe, but you could maybe gain some interest from, I would think, from the manufacturing sector, and maybe the local community of businesses. But the NEPERC Manufacturing Day event
Mhm.
coming up, are you going
Yep.
to be there like to have a tabletop, trying to sell
I'm
your program?
I'm yeah, I've been to that for the last 2 years, and I plan on being there. Now, the one thing is, I don't know if I will be there in person, um, but my program will be there. My robot I'll have a setup at a table there. Yes,
Okay, good.
yeah. With the time constraints that I have, um, yeah, I might not be there in person. I trying to get there. In fact, I just got an email on that earlier today.
Right.
So, um, yeah, it's
Yeah. October 4th.
October 4th.
That's
Yeah,
next week.
Friday, October the 4th. Yeah, PSA will be represented there as well. So Yeah, it's a great event for Northeastern PA for sure. Now, so you right now at your lab, when you talk about robotics, it's just ABB, right? The ABB robotics is. Are you looking to expand that out to other robot manufacturers to expand that curriculum for that? Because I know there's more needs out there in industry for that.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah. Well,
And how
yeah.
long do you think that? I know you're one guy. You're like, Jesus, I'm like one guy. How am I going to do all this? But what's that plan look like for you? So
Well,
so people are listening are going to be knowing that hey, this is out there, right? It's down the road.
yeah, we're actually, I think we're behind. Absolutely. From day one, we want to be as a robotic agnostic, as PLC agnostic as we can be, especially on the robot side, because I mean, the robots are becoming a commodity. I mean,
Just
they're
a tool,
really,
right?
exactly, it's a tool. It's not really, this is, ABB, or this is FANUC, or this is what. So, I absolutely, and I think you know this. I've already tried to get some get some funding. So if there's anybody out there listening that wants to, I'm looking to buy as many robots as I can. And I also have currently also have a Kawasaki robot.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that's a bigger
yep,
robot. So I think
correct.
you need
Correct.
to get yeah. I know your where that is in your department. That big robot might not feel so
Uh,
comfortable on that floor.
no, no, I don't think it's going to come in the door. No. But
Right.
on that note, I'm hoping that there's some sort of uh, well, yeah. I don't know if I can even. I don't want to. I don't want to jinx it. But, I'm hoping there's an announcement coming in the next 3 days
Oh, well,
um,
we'll hold tight for that.
Yeah.
We'll
on a
hold tight for that.
new location.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All
Well, by
right.
the time
Yes.
this gets
Good.
posted, if you have a new announcement, Joe, you can put it in the show notes.
Sure.
That'd be okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
You
Yeah.
if
know,
he has the announcement, Rob, you just certainly let me know for that
you can
when we're
put it in the show
preparing this
notes.
thing to
Yeah.
launch out on the
Yeah.
social sites. But okay, hey, Rob, we're gonna wrap this up, and we talked a little bit about some successes, but how about like just breaking it down into one specific success story, whether it be for the school or for one of your students or anything like that, if you could share something that pops into your mind right now.
Well, I think the biggest success story is the quality of the students that I have right now. I really do. My boss asks me every week, "How's your students?" And I'm like, they're absolutely a joy, and they're for whatever reason, I don't know if, and there, it's a variation too. I think my oldest is, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not allowed to talk about age, but I think my oldest is 30 some and my youngest is 19. And they're across the board just phenomenal. And they're all in. They're all
Yeah.
in.
That's excellent.
So if I were to talk about a success story, I think that the quality of the student that we have now, and we'd like to obviously continue to have, obviously the numbers are still not there, but the quality is
That's
Well,
awesome.
the
Hey,
top
quality of
Rob,
top
those
notch.
the quality of those students and the program that you have will start to reverberate. It'll start to ripple, yeah, ripple out, and that's what'll happen. So, how do people get in touch with you, Rob? How would you like them to get in touch with you? Is an email or something like that, or just go to
Yeah,
Lackawanna?
you
Or
can. Yeah, you can. Well, the best way to get in touch with me would be my email, which is craner@lackawanna.edu. Um,
okay,
I'm
so
all right,
there all day long
Crane R, Lackawanna EDU.
at lackawanna.edu.
Okay,
Yep.
dot
great. Yeah.
edu. Okay, and
And
you
then
can
you
put
can
that in.
certainly check out the website also, Marty,
Yes.
at Lackawanna dot edu as well. And then to learn more about the program. I'm always on there checking it out because the program does expand. It looks great. And Rob, listen, if your students, if you'd like to get out with your students and come take a look at what we have going on at PSA, to see we've got a lot going on right now, right? And
That's
expands
that.
across manufacturing. What we're doing in both the commercial side and the DoD side. And if you want to get them excited about it beyond just the classroom, I welcome that. Let me know. I'd love to open the doors for you Because
Well,
we'd love to attract some of that talent you got coming out of your school for sure.
I'm looking to make a trip with these guys down to Nucor in the next 2 weeks. I would like to fit that in as a stop.
Okay, just keep me posted on that.
I
Give me
will.
some heads up on that.
I will. Yep.
So we can make those proper arrangements for you. But Rob, listen, thank you so much. I'm glad that things are going well there at the school, and kudos to you, and best of luck as you move forward with this. And we'll catch up again sometime soon.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite again, guys. It's always a pleasure to get together and talk talk shop
There you go.
with a couple people who know a little bit about what I'm talking about.
You bet, buddy. All
So
right,
yeah, I'd come
Thanks,
back.
Rob.
So again, I enjoyed
thanks
it.
much.
Thanks. Get the word out.
All right, cheers. Thanks.